those with criminal convictions. The Justice Department is looking to authorize a decades-old law giving individuals with criminal backgrounds an opportunity to buy firearms. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. Jeff, so an interim rule published today in the Federal Register, that's a key piece to all of this. Tell us more.
So the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Dee Dee, has the power to restore gun rights, but the agency has been blocked from doing so under congressional appropriations dating back to 1992. This rule creates a pathway to process those applications, but instead of the ATF, the DOJ will now be in charge. Pamela C., a legal expert, tells us the interim final rule follows an executive order from President Trump last month directing a review of the country's gun restrictions.
The Second Amendment is one of the most important ones we have. Therefore, we need to have a way to reinstate persons' civil rights, which would include firearms.
According to the DOJ, the rule would open an appropriate avenue to restore gun rights to criminals who have proven they're reformed.
Yes, we want people to have their Second Amendment rights, but having a constitutional right is not limitless.
The limitations likely to be put in place for those with violent and also dangerous backgrounds.
Limiting it to those who are nonviolent, no domestic violence involved.
Madeline Somerville, an attorney based out of Georgia, says, in addition to creating a pathway for people to own guns again, this rule will also clear up some existing restrictions and regulations.
If there were any unnecessary roadblocks on the way to someone having their rights reinstated that really didn't make sense, they're going to try to get rid of that as well.
But before a final version of the rule is issued, the public will be able to give some feedback.
There'll be an opportunity for people to comment on whether or not they think those rules are good or not.
Now, groups advocating against gun violence are pushing back here. Every Town for Gun Safety issuing a statement saying that this move throws out decades of bipartisan precedent and is laying the groundwork to put guns back into the hands of violent criminals.
Some Americans with criminal convictions could soon be allowed to legally own guns. So what you think about this story? The Justice Department creating a path to restore their Second Amendment rights. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer is here with more on this. Brooke, some of these people have been in legal limbo for years, but critics of this plan say it's going to put weapons in the hands of abusers. Marky, pretty unsurprisingly, this move has people on both sides of the gun issue split. Gun rights groups are celebrating the interim rule this morning, with one saying that it would end the legal limbo for those seeking to restore the right to own a weapon.
The gun isn't the thing that's going out and committing the crime, right? It's the person. So if you've got such a dangerous person that you can't trust him with the gun, that person needs to be in jail.
But on the other side of things, Moms Demand Action, a group which advocates for stronger gun laws, believes making it easier for domestic abusers and violent criminals to rearm is a death sentence, they wrote, waiting to happen. Right now in the U.S., federal law says convicted felons can't have guns, and the ATF's ability to use congressional funds to restore gun rights for some has been blocked since 1992. But this interim rule, it was posted on the Federal Register Thursday. It could create a process for people with criminal convictions to get their guns back. It would give that authority to the Attorney General and the Justice Department. The DOJ said that the rule gives an avenue to restore firearm rights to people who no longer warrant such disability based on a combination of the nature of their past criminal activity and their current law-abiding behavior. As some groups advocating against gun violence express deep concern with these changes, the DOJ noted that it would be screening people and it supports laws that ensure violent and dangerous people don't get their guns back. Marky?
Yeah, as with every firearm debate, this one is garnering polarizing reaction.
It's Isaiah 19:11. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools, the counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what Yahweh, a power of hosts, hath proposed upon Egypt. The princes of Zoan are fools, the princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word with true sincerity, with charity, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. We who are ready to live salute you. So I just want to go into this lesson, all right, and it's as you can see that video, all right, about the what they're doing with these guns, and who do you think is making these decisions, right? Who do you think is writing these policies, right? Right. So yeah, who do you think? I won't say any names, right? The small hats, all right, the local hats, all right. These are the guys that are making these calls, man. All right, and they're fomenting war. Now, of course, we don't a Great Millstone, we don't advocate for guns, anything like that. We're not here about gun rights. This lesson is not about that. The blood's gonna run in the streets regardless, man. Whether it's with bats, knives, whatever it is, the scripture says that, But as the scripture says, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, okay? So we're just really just observing and reporting, okay, on the moves that this devil is making, man. All right. So he's trying to create more bloodshed, more incidents, as you can see on social media now. You're seeing more people getting shot down in broad daylight than you've ever seen, and it's all on social media, right? I could tell you shit earlier on, Facebook was nothing like or any of these platforms. It was nothing like how it is now, man. They just blatantly showing niggas getting gunned down, man. And it's entertainment now. People are completely desensitized, man. All right. People are getting attacked and people are not helping, especially women. Women are starting to realize nobody ever gave a damn. You came outside with this idea that you was just the shit and everybody loves and wants to protect you. All right. But yeah, that's who's calling the shots here, man. That's who's making these moves, man. All right, because what the scripture says on this Revelation 6:4, and they went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. All right, and that's Esau Edom, man. So yeah, and I read the first scripture, man. How he's Aaron and all the works thereof, like a drunken man staggering in his vomit. Because you gotta think about it. Here it is. Esau on one end, he wants gun control. He wants to take people's guns so he could send his troops in. But at the same time, he wants everybody to kill each other. So now he's throwing more guns out there. So this devil's all over the place. He's like a drunken man staggering in his vomit, man. All right, everything he's doing is flawed. Like, this guy doesn't know where he's going. All his wisdom is gone, man. It doesn't make any the moves that he's making are what is the scripture says they shall be like madmen sparing none, man. This guy's gone mad. He's lost it. He's just pressing every button now. A motherfucker started panicking on a ship, and he just started pressing every button. He's just panicking, man. He's just doing anything now. All right, so he's throwing out pretty much more confusion, more madness, more bloodshed, more sacrifices, as the scripture says. Matter of fact, let me get it. is Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments, with the multitude of thy sorceries, therein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. All right. So all these things that he's throwing out is basically, you know, because Esau, he thrives in confusion and chaos, man, and madness. So he's basically turning up the knob. But really, it's the Lord that's turning the knob, all right? And Yahweh Shemi Shah is putting the spirit on this guy to move in these crazy ass ways, and there's nothing thought out anymore. All right, at this point. At this point, he's just throwing with anything he can get his hand on. You know, because he's at his end, man. You know, these are frantic death throes. All right, when people are death throwing and they're dying, but they're striving to survive. They move all funny, and they flop around like a fish. They start going into convulsions and weird shit. And that's pretty much what this guy's doing. This guy's flailing at this point, man. And that's why he's making moves like this. Because what it says, right, this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right. And the modern day sword is the gun, man. And what did the Lord say? I'm going to set Egyptian against Egyptian, man. There's going to be a lot of death out here, And, the Lord is putting a spirit on this devil to pretty much add more gasoline to the fire, man. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. So yeah, man. So you have this is a recipe for complete disaster, man. All right. See, this devil, which really is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he has a lot of things in the works for this place, man. The lights are going to go out in this place. Imagine the lights going off in this place with these weirdos, sickos, all right? That fucking Buffalo Bill nigga that dresses like a woman, that works at your local convenience store, your local grocery store, right? That guy. Imagine him with there's no lights on. These whacked out ass people, man. All right. Then there's guns involved, and there's all kind of weapons, man. All right. And then these people have been dumbed down to the point of no return, man. They've been completely dumbed down, man. All right. So, oh man, these people are, people gonna be off their meds. So you have a armed society of dumbed down, crazy people, man. With the lights off in this fucking place, man. Man. We need Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. That's all I got to say about that, man. I don't know where these other camps get this bravado from, but I'm just thinking about this shit is sending chills up my spine as I speak. But yeah, it says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. All right, swords in their hand, invading each other, man. All right. Scriptures talk about how their houses shall be rifled, man. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. So we're coming into some wild times, man. And this devil, you know, he's giving you all the tools you need. I remember a while ago it was let's see, hold on. Now check this out, right? This devil, man. And I believe this was like before 2020. Because I asked, did Elon Musk sell blowtorches, right? It says, yes, Elon Musk's Boring Company. Yeah, it's just a boring old company. Like, this guy tries to play like he's so nonchalant and innocent, man. This fucking devil, man. It says, yes, Elon Musk's Boring Company did sell a product named Not a Flamethrower. While marketed as a flamethrower, it was essentially a glorified propane blowtorch. The Boring Company sold 20,000 of these devices. All right. The nigga sold a blowtorch, man. Let me see if we can get any images of it. That is a fucking blowtorch, man. So yeah, man, we want to give you what you need to just walk up on a porch, right? Excuse me. And just cook a whole fucking family, man. Oh man, but it's nothing like the old school shit, you know, like the shit they had in you know, and the shit they had in World War II, man. Those blowtorches, you could see that in Saving Private Ryan, man. Like, you can torch a whole house with one of those motherfuckers, man. You know? But look at this fucking devil, man. This nigga put out a goddamn blowtorch, man. For the public. All right, man. And, you know, he had that, you know, look, man, this devil, we're coming to a point where this devil is he's just about to show himself, man. He really just is taking the mask off, man. Look, I'm the devil. You had this guy, Elon Musk, fucking dressed in a goddamn, I don't know, war suit, some Baphomet war suit. Goddamn it, looked like Vlad the Impaler type shit from fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula. You know, this devil is, hey, it's like the movie, what's that movie? Devil's Advocate. You had Al Pacino play the spiritual demon Satan. He's like, we're coming out, guns blazing. Yeah, that's what this devil's doing. Matter of fact, let me get a scripture. Right, this is Sirach 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods, right? And they're putting that out, no, not just to, destroy Jake shit, that they want to get rid of a good percentage of their own people, man. All right? There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. And we're at that last. All right? We're at the last, where it says the devil shall come down with great wrath because he knoweth he have but a short time, man. All right, so we're in the last days, and the Lord's preparing this devil for his last hurrah, man. And what does he want? Chaos. What the scripture says, violence covereth him as a garment, man. You know, this is Lamech all over again, man. What do you say? If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, surely Lamech shall be avenged 70 times 7, man. You know, this nigga was bragging about bloodshed, man. You know? and that's what Esau wants to see. Like I said, that's why we're seeing more flat out just murders on Facebook and fucking Instagram and different fucking platforms. It's easy to access. People get chopped up. Shit that would have been on the dark web, man. Hell, Diddy tapes, man. Diddy tapes coming out, man. You know, all this fucking crazy shit, man. You know, because he's declaring his wickedness. You know, the Lord's revealing him, man. He's making him, the Lord's making him reveal himself. Scripture says, surely his tongue shall fall on himself, man. You know, the Lord's making him take that mask off, man. You know, and that's all that's coming to this place is a war, man. When they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction falleth on them, man. You know, so that's what this is all about, and we know who's pulling the strings. All right, those fat rats with small hats, man. Those guys, man. They're making all this shit happen because they're really terrified, man. Those people are terrified, man. They're fleeing out of the land of Israel. All right, a lot of them by the thousands are getting the hell out of there. All right, they know that it's up for their ass. They're being revealed. You know, the Lord's making Esau bare, just like He said, man. You know. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. Hope this lesson was edifying, and Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and the Bible.